is when Verlie's here, you don't wait as long. Hey, you're on the air. How are you?
Let's make America great again. Good morning.
Good morning, Ron.
Good morning. I know that sometimes people, what Matlock's going to say about this thing. Do you believe, and I ask you a question, you don't have to answer, Jed. Do you believe that Joe Biden stole the election? Do you believe it? This what causing the riot. This what causing the insurrection of the Capitol. Do you believe it? You don't have to.
No, I don't believe it. No.
Okay, thank you. There are a lot of people when I come at you inciting a riot. I know when you're talking about overthrowing the government and making America great. I think America is great already. Why we have some come in as look like as a dictator talking about this thing, and the people, all the Republican Party, and a lot of those people are trying to stand up, and do the right thing, and like Verlie was saying, these individuals here in Indiana, they ought to just stand up. Why a king? It's a sad day. In my understanding.
I'm going to answer both your questions.
Okay.
I think you and
ahead.
Verlie asked the same question. Verlie brought up how could people not see the inconsistencies and the grabs for power and all of the harm to a democracy. You've asked many times why can't they just see this? And I don't think there's a real answer to that in that, but it's there. Okay. Yeah. It's like when you go to have migraines and you go to the doctor and you say, oh, well, we tried to get rid of detergent. We tried to get rid of that. And they look at you and they go, are you kidding me? Forget it. Let's just deal with the reality of the situation and the symptoms. And that's simple here. It does exist. 40% of people are loyal to Donald Trump no matter what. And I don't know any conjecturing. To me, it's like, where do you Democrats go from here, Ron Matlock? Where do you go?
My understanding right now, if you look at the polling right now, he's at the lowest rating at 36%, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's right at 39 to 40% approval.
I'm saying 36%.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just simply saying that right now, people are waking up. I appreciate that. They're waking up, and they're saying that right now, on this radio right now, that, well, Joe Biden are you aware that Joe Biden got more votes than any president in the history of this country?
What does that have to do with?
But what is that?
Well, it has a lot to do. It has basically they're saying that they stole the election. But again, I'm hearing the media who wants to stand up and tell the truth that Joe Biden won right now, and he cannot just let go, and it's causing a problem in America. That's what I'm saying. It's causing a problem in America, and I just think right now, America is great, but it seems like they are buying down to pressure. You must do this, and if you don't, because it's all about me having power. And so it's just so many things that I look at in terms of Donald Trump. Who's this guy? He gave a pardon. He was a dope dealer. He gave him a pardon.
From Honduras. Yes.
Yeah,
the mayor of Honduras.
Now, if a Democrat would do something like that, they would say, oh, it's terrible. That was so un-American.
Especially when you're blowing votes of,
Yeah, blowing votes up. And Pete, see, and then another thing I look at is Donald Trump. I have so many little things. Right now, he got people, Secretary of Defense, he called it Secretary of War. Now, hold on. Now, Donald Trump is back with Putin and say, Ukraine, you give up your blame, and if you don't, we're not going to do anything else for you. It's terrible. And for those people who don't like Ron Matlock, just tell the truth. I'm saying, you don't have to like me. I don't care. I'm not going to win a popularity contest. I just happen to believe that right now, and I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to let you go, and I appreciate you giving me this time. Right now, 9 congressional districts in Indiana. You got the majority, House, you got the Senate, and then you got the what? You got the House, you got the State House, and you got everything else you want. I mean, is it fair?
You guys you're missing the point, Matlock.
No,
I gotta go. All right, I'll see you. You're missing the point.
It does say on November 28th, Donald Trump's approval rating had dropped to 36%.
All right, I saw 39, but it's at the lowest.
New second-term low.
Yeah, Verlie, I just feel like on your side, I get the same feeling when I talk to Weezer. It's like this is the game. People, the 40% of people that are listening don't care, and it's just like you could shake your head like I can't believe people don't see that this was a war crime or that there's a pedophile protection program going on for rich people. I mean, all of that stuff does not matter to about 40% of people.
No, I understand that. They voted for him despite him sharing that he was all of the things that most people would look at and say, no way would I have as a president. So, yeah, I understand that.
The issue at hand is that it has come to our doorstep. Right here in Highland, Dan Darnell has an immense decision weighing on his shoulders right now. Because if he votes and says yes, it's going to look like he caved and that, he succumbed to the intimidation. And if he votes against this, he puts himself perhaps in harm's way and his family's in harm's way. I mean, I've known the guy since I was a little kid. Parents knew each other. We're going back a couple generations. I mean, I feel for the guy and his family. The same thing for Rick Niemeyer. Rick Niemeyer may be the person who benefits most from this.
Oh, he'll vote yes.
You think for sure?
Hey, his cousin comes on. He has a chance to win an election. So, yeah, why not, right? He ran for office. Let me ask you a question. You've owned this radio station for over a decade now. How many threats have you gotten since you've been the owner of this station?
Oh, God. Think about it. Many.
Right. And since I was the station manager at LTH and been on this show, I've gotten threats as well. Did you sell your station? Did you pack up your bags and close down everything because you own a radio station and you got threats? Or did you stand strong, continue to do what you say that all the people before you did to make sure that freedom of speech, freedom of thought was able to come across the airways, and people with different opinions were able to share them? You stood your ground, you stood strong, and you continue to do that.
You said you went, yes, that's part of this game. If you are going to openly, encourage people to tell their opinions, and Colby used to get death threats when he owned it, and he showed me how to deal with it. And you know what he told me? He goes, you get the best effing lawyers that you can get, and that's what you use. And I have done that a few times. And, that seems to have some sort of a wall to that. But you have to lawyer up. You have to use what is available in the law to deal with things. But, I mean, when I write the book, you'd be surprised. Same with you. You and I should write the book together,
the guy left Gary, Indiana, and moved to Indianapolis, who was threatening me all the time. Ron Matlock. But, I'm not saying Ron was a threat, but, that guy was, But anyway, I won't say his name on the air.
Here's the thing. The times are different. They really are. I mean, this is a 1960s violence kind of time. Charlie Kirk gets assassinated like that. That has to be in the back of a lot of people's minds. They're talking as many as 20 Republicans will follow Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was in an impossible situation. She was America First, really conservative and pushing Trump and all that. But she pushed back on the moment she stood with the women who were when they were 14 years old. Some of them, they got raped. she was out, and now she's getting death threats, and the whole thing is just ugly. But she's not the only one.
Instead of them doing what they used to do in the Old West, circling the wagons around to protect the families inside that circle, what they did is now they did every man for himself. And they showed that they have no care about the Republic in the United States of America. They only care about their own self-interest that correlate along with what the president is putting out there. They do not care about the values of the Republican Party. Because if they did, it wouldn't have even passed out of committee. If they followed what Mitch Daniels said, former governor of the state of Indiana, then this would not even be, it would have never come to this. We would have never had this session put in place where this decision could possibly be made.
Well, Starkey said yesterday, he said, does Mitch Daniels, is he that big a deal anymore here in Indiana?
See what I mean? It's not a matter if he's a big deal. It matters that this man is intelligent enough to have led this state for 2 terms. Intelligent enough that Democrats actually even voted for him his second term. That he did great things for the state of Indiana. The reason why we have such a surplus is because of him. We might not agree with everything he did, but is he that much of a big deal? Is Donald Trump, ask this dude, when Donald Trump's term is over, is he that much of a big deal?
Well, here's the thing. That's the that was the Republican lines that Starkey was kind of giving yesterday, because I looked around on the internet and I go, that's kind of what people are saying.
They're saying it, right? They don't even have minds of their own.
No,
they have to follow the
that's
script.
Not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there is 40% of people are in on it. Okay, there's 4 out of 10 people, and for my thinking, I could never understand like the politically correct woke mobs, and wow, I almost got swept up in it, and I didn't understand that. And I don't understand this 40% that will follow Donald Trump no matter what, and have really kind of lost the ability to make, independent judgments. Both of those, really what it comes down to is I don't understand America right now, why it's got to be one or the other. I don't get it. Anyways, let's take a couple phone calls. They're waiting. Hey, you're on the air.
Jimmy and Verlie, how you doing this morning?
Cool. Get right to the point, please.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the point. I think that last time you had that half-white president in office, Barack Obama, didn't he say, we won, we're going to do what we want? I think he did say something like that, didn't he? And you guys talk about Republicans sticking together. Listen, you Democrats stuck together for a
second. Hold on a second.
Wow. What's wrong?
I've told you this so many times. It's starting to get
right to the point.
When you use the term "you" and you reference that, you don't know what Jim's political affiliation is. I'll tell you, I'm a Democrat, so I have no shame. So why don't you say
Democrats? It never includes Jimmy.
Right.
We know he's as independent as the dirty snow on the ground. But when the Democrats, you guys think, not you, Jimmy, you Democrats, if there's any Democrats out there listening, I doubt there's any, but you guys decided that boys can be girls and girls can be boys, and you stuck with that like imbeciles forever until every medical procedure place in the country goes, yeah, we're kind of lying about that. Let's stop doing that. You guys stick together like glue. Where do you get your
information from? I mean, where did you get that from? Where did they stop doing gender reassignment?
Like virtually every place in the country.
Really?
Name one that still does it.
That people are not still transitioning? What are you talking about? I don't have to name one.
In the United States that still does it.
I'm not talking about children. I'm talking about grown adults.
Hey, why are we talking? Hold on a second. We've talked about that, hundreds of hours here. What does that have to do with redistricting Indiana today?
Republicans are going to stick together for the benefit of the party, just like Democrats always do. That's what they're supposed to do. When you're on the team, be on the GD team. Stick together.
Can you let him go? Because I don't like that
you
term
might not like
about
So-
God. When people, so there's a way to get your point across without using profanity, even if you use the initials. But taking the Lord's name in vain, to me, is a violation of one of the 10 Commandments. And so please don't do that over the airways.
So-
I don't care if you lie. I don't care if you steal. I don't care if you commit adultery. Just don't take the Lord's name in vain, please.
He said something there. Republicans have to stick together. And I think that is amongst the core people of Donald Trump supporters. That's very important. And if you're not going to stick together, you may face the consequences.
So why can't you stick together on behalf of what's right? You talk about Democrats sticking together. That's not true. If Democrats stuck together, then Kamala Harris would be president right now and not Donald Trump. There are so many Democrats that crossed over and voted for Donald Trump that it's unbelievable. So the party, people do what they think is right. If you think that all this is going on is right, it's not about Republicans sticking together. It's about them sticking together for what's wrong.
So I think what I suspected is really coming true, and that is that the division of America is really coming out in what is happening in this district of Indiana. And what is happening in Indiana, the everyone's got to take a side, you know what I mean? Now's the time. And
we are in the spotlight.
And we are in the spotlight,
yes.
And emotions are running high.
Oh, my gosh.
And it is the moment where there is some clarity coming to a lot of people. And especially on the Republican side, people are going to have to choose. Greg Walker said, I refuse to be intimidated. And I made a choice. He said that he thought about his child's future if we accept that intimidation is normal.
Well,
that's a big factor here.
It is a big factor, but he's a Republican, and he's standing for what he believes is right. So why is he getting death threats for standing on his values?
That's just how the game works.
No, it just shows the fear that the Republican Party has. They are afraid to play on an even playing field. They want to talk about deflated footballs. Talk about the goal line being moved 10 feet forward in their favor.
219-845-1100. Hey, you're on the air. How are you?
Hey, I got too many people on the bus. Put me back on hold for 15 minutes.
All right, that's pretty good, actually. Go ahead. Hello?
Yeah, put me back on hold for 15 minutes.
Stop. You're on the air. Let's go.
I wanted to just toss out a couple things. First of all, you mentioned a couple of the state representatives that have gone with the party line, and that's basically all they ever do. They're pretty much the only reason they're in office is because of the straight party ticket option on the ballot. For example, one of the state reps that you talked about.
So hold on. I said that 2 state reps voted yes, according to
Three.
we
talked about 3 locally.
Aylesworth and Slager and Julie Altoff. According to what I saw in Indy Star, they said that they voted yes with Donald Trump and with Braun and that side of this argument. What do you make of it as a Democrat?
Well, I say that they're not independent thinkers. We've seen a few people, Mitch Daniels for one, and a couple others that have said, they're not going to tilt the water for the man in the front office, and that's good, and that's what people are supposed to do. They're supposed to look at the person and what values they have, not just because of party lines. and that's one of the reasons why I think they should get rid of the straight ballot option on the ballot, or straight party ticket on the ballot, anyways.
So let me ask you this: you're pretty well set. I know who you are in the Democratic Party. Do you think that Democrats here locally are licking their chops at Slager and Olthoff voting with the Donald Trump side?
I think that it's going to be I think it's going to be a good push for their opposition come next election, because there's too many people that are fed up with taking the party line, and we need to get some new blood in there.
All right, man. Anything else?
Yes. Let's respect the war hero and call him Casimir Pulaski, not Casimir Pulaski. And let's pronounce his name correctly, especially if we're going to have to deal with it for the next 10 years or whatever before they redistrict again this garbage that they're throwing at us.
Well, hold on a second. How do the people in that county say it?
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? They live there.
Okay, and the people that live in Peru, Indiana, pronounce it Peru. So
I know that, but look, all right, look over here at the park over here, Kosciuszko Park. Most of the non-Eastern Europeans call it Kosciuszko Park.
In New York, it's Kosciuszko Bridge. Nobody calls it Kosciuszko. So I don't know.
I mean, a lot of the black population and the Hispanic population in East Chicago, I mean, it's just how they say it. If you go and you talk to an old Polish lady living on living on Northcott, she's going to say Kosciuszko. Who's right?
Well, I'd say the person that knows how to pronounce the name correctly is, whether it's ethnic or not. I mean, Dave Kuziak, okay? Pronouncing it correctly, it would be Kusak, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but he says it's Kuziak, so you have to go with that. And so you're right. This is going to be a 10-year dilemma, because Pulaski County is going to be in our district, it looks like. And we have to decide how to pronounce that. I'm pretty sure it's Pulaski County.
Hey, one time I want you to call in and talk about data centers.
Hey, why don't you be quiet? That's called dead air.
As it goes right now, let's remember that you are part of the media and that you are supposed to educate and inform. So let's get people to pronounce it correctly and pronounce it Pulaski.
All right, I'll see you. Bye. I had a long talk on Saturday with Josh Huddleston.
Oh, really?
And he's the mayor of Hobart. And, he's got some talent. And I think he's going to hopefully get on the team of the rotation when I need to work.
But stick to his mayoral stuff, not the sports stuff. Because that is a big issue in Hobart.
Oh, my God.
The citizens are totally against these data centers. The majority of the citizens, not all of the citizens.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you don't drive up and down the streets and look at mostly every back front yard has a no data center sign. So
I offered him not to come on with me, but he's been here enough, and he announces games with us and stuff. I'm like, hey, listen, if you're here, I don't need to be there. So he may host the morning show, hopefully.
Okay.
Because I need a little more time to work on sports. Speaking
of
sports.
Pronunciations, let me say this, because people have different ways of saying something. When I first came to the region, and like most New Yorkers, you say Gary. And I had to learn to say Gary. So the way that people pronounce it, but otherwise I'd still be running around here saying Gary, Indiana, just like the song. So
I'm gonna pronounce it Pulaski County, partly because we do games all over the state. We've done games in Pulaski County, and I may have announced one. And if you go there, so it's nice to come to Pulaski County. That's not how they say it. Mm-hmm. And I will respect it. It's like Cairo, Illinois. It's Cairo. It's Cairo, right? To the rest of America.
That was a really racist area at one time.
Well, they call it Cairo. Yeah. And, I got chastised once. I got hired to do a commercial up in like 1985, and I had to go to Chicago. And I did the voiceover, and then I was talking to Frank Beeman, if you guys remember him. He was a longtime newsman, and he's like, oh, I got to drive down to Cairo. I go, you mean Cairo? He goes, no, don't ever say that. Yeah. Don't ever say that on the air. Hey, we'll be right back. Stay where you're at on the lines. We're talking about the redistricting. The Senate voted to move it along. They're going to have a full vote on it on Thursday. I'm going to switch and go out into the main studio here because Adriana Alvarez has just joined us. I do have to say this because I'll never say it to her personally. I'll just say it publicly. I have been looking at Apple and Spotify, and she has built a full channel of podcasts. And if you're just driving around, you don't have anything to listen to or whatever, just go in, subscribe to the channel, and then you'll have all these podcasts. We're starting a big name today in the afternoon, and I can't tell you who it is yet, but it will be added to the podcast network because people want to be part of this. All right, I'm going to wait. I'm going to sing for 7 seconds, and then the spots will take over.